Hello everybody out in television land. Now we're doing section 4.4, negative exponents. This is math 54 and we're doing 4.4 and we're having a lot of fun learning math. Yay. So, exponents. 2 to the 4th power equals 8 equals 16. 2 to the 3rd power equals 8. 2 squared equals 4. 2 to the 1st equals 2. As mathematicians, we always look for patterns or like to put things in terms of patterns. Notice every time we go down an exponent, we wind up dividing by 2, because when I go down from 2 to the 4th to 2 to the 3rd, I'm dividing 16 divided by 2. Here I'm dividing 8 divided by 2 to get to 4. Well, continuing this pattern, that would mean that 2 to the 0 is 2 divided by 2, and that's 1. And that would mean that 2 to the negative 1 is 1 divided by 2, which is 1/2. And that would also mean that 2 to the negative 2 is 1/2 divided by 2, and that's 1 over 2 squared. The rule is 2 to the negative n. Following this pattern, we keep on dividing by half, and that's how we get a half, a quarter, an eighth, which is 1 over 2 squared, 1 over 2 to the 3rd. Notice that negative 2, and I have a 2 here. I have a negative 3, I have a 3 down here. So the rule is that 2 to the negative n power is equal to 1 over 2 to the n power, and that is the rule, or you could even say it's the definition of a negative exponent. So, for example, 5 to the negative 2 power is equal to 1 over 5 squared, which is 1 over 25, because that's what 5 squared is. And as a decimal, that's 0.04. Here's another rule that follows from the same concept. 1 over a to the negative n is equal to plain a to the positive n. And let's give an example of that. 1/3 to the negative 4th power is equal to 3 to the positive 4th power, which is just 81. So 1/3 to the negative 4th power is why? Because negative exponents reciprocate. Here's another fun, important rule. A over b to the negative n is equal to b over a to the positive n, which is b to the n over a to the n. Let's do an example of that. 2/3 to the negative 3 power is equal to 3/2 to the positive 3 power, which is 27 over 8. How about this example right here? X squared y cubed to the negative 4th power divided by xy. We want to simplify that. So the first thing I'm going to say is that we get rid of the parentheses. We distribute the negative 4, and we have x to the negative 8 times y to the negative 12 over xy. Now, this is what I want to do. I should have said this at the beginning, is I want to write this so that there are only positive exponents, no negative exponents. Well, here's the thing. A negative exponent on top is equivalent to a positive on the bottom, and a negative, or vice versa. So let me show you what I mean by that. The y to the negative 12 on top is the same as having a positive 12 on the bottom. A negative 8 on top is the same as having a positive 8 on the bottom. This now all simplifies into 1 over x to the 9th, y to the 13th. And that's how it goes. Let's look at another example of a negative switching around. X to the negative 2nd over y to the negative 5th, that's going to be equal to y to the positive 5th over x to the positive 2, because the negative 2 on top becomes an x to the positive 2 on bottom. A y to the negative 5 on the bottom becomes a y to the positive 5 on top. Yay!